Let's talk about the finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty. So one of the things I absolutely loved was Conrad being petty. He had every right to be petty because, of what happened. I don't understand why Belly was angry at him. Like, he had every right to be angry considering the fact that, like, he literally, obviously, is still in love with Belly. And then he literally just watched his brother and his ex-girlfriend kissing on the top of his car in his sweatshirt. Like, of course he's gonna be petty, and he's the type of person who acts petty when he's hurt. He had every right to be, and he's literally my favorite character. I don't care. That was the funniest thing ever. Also, I absolutely love how Steven is literally the head of Bond Red Nation, because, like, he literally is Conrad's #1 supporter, especially because him and Taylor are supposed to be the parallel of Belly and Conrad. So I absolutely love how he's, like, 100% on the defense of how Conrad is much better for Belly and how he challenges her and how he's just, how Jeremiah is the safe option and he's 100% right, which is exactly why Belly is dating Jeremiah now, because he is the safest option, because she went with the guy that she actually wanted in the beginning and she got hurt. So now she has to be like, now she's going to go with the safer option. I'm not even gonna lie to you though, Belly pissed me off. Like, you can't expect Conrad to not be angry. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be hurt, obviously. You can be like, why are you acting that way? Well, I wonder why he's acting that way. Like, he literally just watched you kiss his brother after he was willing to go confess his feelings to you again. Like, of course he's gonna be mad. And, like, honestly, Belly as a whole, Loki kind of pissing me off this season because, like, girl, you were crying over him, like, 5 days ago. Like, that's, I think, my biggest gripe with this whole plot is, like, this course of this show takes place over, like, a week, 4 days, 3 days. It hasn't even been, like, that long of, like, since they broke up. And, like, she was crying over him on Monday. Like, on Tuesday, she was literally saying that she will always have a gravitational pull and that she still loves him. And then she was crying it with, that fight that argument that they had at the beach, where she's like, I would have fought for you if I had known you loved me. And now you expect me to feel like you're completely over him? Girl. Also, like, the conversation with Susanna and Belly that they had, close to when she was at the end of her life. How come Belly told her that Conrad dumped her when that's not what happened? He wasn't feeling prom because, he was nearing the end of his mother's life and he was just kind of trying to grieve, essentially get ready for that period of his life. And of course, so he wasn't going to be fully into prom, obviously. I mean, anyone in that situation would not be fully into prom if, like, that was kind of the end of their mother's life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was never planning on dumping Belly at all. He was just trying to deal with grief and the fact that he was probably going to lose his mother soon. So, I mean, and I feel like I don't understand how Belly didn't put two and two together. Because she knew that Susanna was probably near, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how she didn't put two and together. Maybe think, okay, maybe he's not super into prom and maybe he's kind of being distant right now because, nearing the end of her life. Like, of course he's going to be distant at that point. Like, I don't blame him. And it's just so weird because she's like, he dumped me. No, he didn't. Like, when did this happen? Like, I was literally looking around, like, when did he say that? When did that happen? Because he didn't dump you. Oof, the exile scene when they played Exile, I was like, oh, jeez. I started crying when he entered the Infinity Necklace. And then, like, here's the thing, too. Like, he took back telling her, I love you. He never actually told her he loved you. So even though Jeremiah told him to go tell her, he never actually, all he told Belly was that he still wants her. He never actually went and told her, I love you. And he kind of, like, decided to, be essentially the bigger person, just be there, just let Belly and Jeremiah be together, basically. He stepped back. He's like, you know what? He promised his mom that he would, be there for his brother. And then I guess he made the decision that he didn't want to hurt Belly again. So he made the decision to kind of be like, you know what? And he just took a step back and he decided to put his own feelings last. Even despite the fact that it clearly hurt him so much. And he had the panic attack outside of the hotel. Oh my God. This one is going to get some people mad. Okay? I don't understand how, so Jer knows that Conrad is still in love with Belly, right? And he probably knows, and he kind of says it deep down, that, like, he feels like he's his second choice to Belly. Like, it's, I don't like the fact that he still goes out with her after that. Like, it hasn't even been a full month since Conrad and Belly broke up. And they were together for a long time again. Like, he was Belly's first and all that other stuff. And he knows that Belly and Conrad have liked each other for years. So how come, like, it's just, I don't like the fact that he's dating her, like, that close to when him and his brother broke up. And for y'all, some of y'all are going to say, well, Conrad kissed Belly. Conrad didn't even know Belly and Jeremiah kissed when he kissed her. Okay? And then him and Belly decided not to date right away, out of respect for Jeremiah. And he did it up until the point where it physically hurt him to not be with Belly because he was so in love with her. So he went and he asked for Jeremiah's blessing before they ever became a thing. On top of that, like, Belly was crying over Connor like literally 2 days ago. Like, that's the thing that's bothering me the most, is the timing of the story. It's like, this is the course of like 4 days. Like, you really tell me, oh, we've changed. Changed from what? Changed what? We're crying over him like 3 days ago. And deep down, it's so obvious that Jeremiah feels like that he's the second choice, that he's the safe option. And I mean, they kind of allude to that consistently and constantly in the story. Everyone pretty much on that show is like, you had Susanna pretty much rooting for Conrad and Belly. Belly's obviously been in love with Conrad for years. Conrad is obviously, he wants to be with Belly. And then you have Steven being the full root of Belly as well. Belly and Conrad as well. Kid you not, when Conrad had the panic attack outside the door, literally had me bawling my eyes out. Like, I physically could not handle that scene. I was crying so much. Like, he just deserves the biggest hug. I'm sorry. Like, he really does. He decided to be selfless in that situation. He decided, you know what, I'm not going to tell Belly how I feel. And he makes the decision to leave. Because, again, if you read the books, you know that he doesn't, like, he leaves their life for about 2 years. So he makes the decision, he kind of just steps back himself. He makes the decision not to take back that he wants Belly, and not tell Belly how he actually truly feels. Because I feel like if they really had that conversation, probably things would have been different. Also, the consistent foreshadowing of how these little things of how Conrad knows Belly better than anyone else. He knew that she needed the sweatshirt, that she was cold. He knew that she would get car sick when she was reading in the car. He knew that. And then also, the Sour Patch Kids, and how that he's like, Belly prefers Sour Patch Kids, and then when they go in the car, Belly takes the Sour Patch Kids instead of the Swedish Fish. Like, it symbolizes. And then even that scene with like the light, when they showed like there's this part alone where if you actually look at the light, like, Belly and Conrad are in like a lighter room, like, or the light is shining on them versus Jeremiah being in the dark. I feel like this has so much symbolism. I feel like this alone tells you where they're gonna end up going with this story. Just this alone just has so much symbolism. And then when Steven says Jer's easier, Conrad challenges Belly, just literally tells you, pretty much confirms the fact that, Jeremiah is that easier option. He's that second option. He's that, like, backup. You know what I mean? Like, even just looking at season 1, every single time Conrad and Belly didn't work out, then she went to Jeremiah. And that's what kept happening time and time again. And in season 1, again, she chose Conrad over Jeremiah when she had the choice. And then I think now it's more so the fear of being heartbroken again, and miscommunication and all of other stuff as to why Jeremiah is being the one that's chosen this time around. Also, this fight between Steven and Tara was looking kind of stupid. Like, you better not ruin them, Jenny. You better leave them alone. They carried this season. I'm sorry to be the one to say it, but, like, they 100% carried this season. They're everything to me. Like, truly.